Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me today on Political Talk with Charlotte. It was a little late, but that's okay. I'm here now. I'm glad you are here with us. Thank you for all that you do and for being strong warriors in the community, for caring about the community. I want to ask that you join us every week, every Thursday at noon for Political Talk with Charlotte. We air every Thursday at noon. And sometimes when there is something special that needs to be discussed, we air just a little bit more often than that. If you want to email me at charlotte@charlottebergman.com. My fan page is at Elect Bergman. That's with two N's. My friend page is at charlotte.bergman.9. So hopefully some of you will join the show on either of those pages. If you missed the live show, we upload the show to Bitchute at Political Talk with Charlotte. On Twitter, you can join the show at Elect Bergman. On YouTube, you can join it at Bergman for Congress. On Twitch, you can join it at Charlotte Bergman, and on Rumble. Check me out at Charlotte Bergman. If you're new to this channel, please leave a comment and or subscribe to the channel either on YouTube and Rumble. Help us to grow in those areas. We're doing pretty well on Facebook. We have about 5,000 people who can view the show on Facebook at their leisure. I have to remind you how much I appreciate you, how much I truly love you, how much I appreciate the fact that you, as a part of the silent majority, got out and voted on November the 5th. And I wake up every morning just as happy as can be, because I see my country coming back to a country that my family would enjoy, as well as other people. It looks like Nani is attempting to join us. Let's see if we can hear you. Nani, can you say a word?
Hey.
Yay!
Yay!
Good. I'm going to put you back in the waiting queue for a second while I go over a few things, okay?
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Okay. I just want to bring these major topics to your attention. You know, the U.S. aid, which most of us are aware of, which the Democrats are having a connection fit about, it's under fire, and you know that. Well, were you aware that our taxpayer money was going to the media to manipulate us and to fund various misuses? To especially they were using it during COVID, and they wouldn't let the truth come out about COVID. And Cash Patel. Now we realize that AG Pam Bundy has been sworn in as the Attorney General, and she's already hit the ground running. That's right. She has already made sure that the federal government stops funding sanctuary cities. And guys, we're in the heart of Shelby County in Memphis, and it is a sanctuary city. So watch out, guys, that funding is going to dry up. There are so many other things that are worthy of being discussed, but I'm just excited about, first of all, living in the greatest country in this world, having good friends. It's all exciting. Now, I have as my guest Miss Wendi, and looks like my lighting, there's a problem with it, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. Guys, we have Wendi Shoffner, who is a lady who lost her son, and she's going to tell you about that. But she lost her son, but she didn't sit back and just whine and boo-hoo and mourn about it. She got busy, and she created Joshua Hope. And it is an organization that's putting up its dukes and it's fighting against fentanyl overdoses. And President Trump is joining her in this effort. That's the reason why Canada was fined 25% on their, or fined a 25% tariff, and Mexico. And I'm just wondering, I don't know for a fact, but I'm kind of thinking that Canada really is doing a lot of pushing the fentanyl in our country. And they did not like it that President Trump put the 25% tariff on them. But, you know, they came to the table really early because they know if the United States put a 25% tariff on them, they were in big trouble. So I'm bringing in to the show Miss Wendi Shoffner. Wendi, how are you?
I'm great, girl. I woke up today and I'm just thankful for this beautiful day that I get to talk about Joshua's Hope.
Thank you so much.
Glad to
Tell us
see
a
you.
little bit about yourself. And we've got my good friend Noni in the background. She is a nurse also, so I'm sure she has some input and would like to share a little bit about this. So if she join into the conversation, understand, because she is definitely a good person. So tell us about why you started Joshua Hope, what happened to Joshua, and why you didn't just sit down and or lie down and put your head on your pillow and cry.
Well, my son Joshua was 32 years old. He had battled with addiction for 3 years. He went to rehab. Then, a year after he was clean, he went and bought a pill from his old drug dealer. And the pill was pure fentanyl. He thought it was a hydrocodone, and it took his life, and he had no idea. And the majority of people have no idea that they're getting this monster drug in their system, and it takes their life so quickly. Joshua was a wonderful young man. He was a giver. He was a sportsman. He played football. He was a fisherman. He loved to hunt. There were so many people that spoke at his celebration of life about all the good things that he had done for others. The reason that I'm telling you this about my son is because I want people to understand that even though someone is an addict, I want to get rid of the stigmatism about that, because even though someone is an addict, they're someone's child, and that mother's heart hurts for their children regardless of what they do to themselves. So Joshua took the pill. He went into ICU. They brought him back. His heart was beating. They brought him back, and I gave them 3 days to find recipients for his organs. No more than that. I didn't want him to lay there any longer. And they did. They worked really hard 24/7 to find recipients for his organs. And he saved 7 lives. But yeah, I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yes, ma'am. But the great thing about what God did for me is that I requested to be in the surgical suite when his heart stopped. And they let me and my family go in the surgical suite. And this is hard to talk about, but I need to talk about it. It's important for others to hear the pain that we go through as mothers and family. Dads are important too, of course, family and friends. It affects everyone. And people don't know how to talk about this, and we need to talk about it. And I talk about Josh every day. I speak of him. I love other mothers about I want to hear about their kids. So in the in the surgical suite, before they took his organs, we played music that, they said it would be a few minutes. It took 12 minutes for Joshua's heart to stop. It was so strong. But we sang his favorite songs. We played his music. We prayed. We talked to him. We loved on him. And when his heart finally stopped, a little tear poured from his eye. And I grabbed his tear and I put it on my lips. And I kissed my son on the mouth for the last time. And told him that I loved him, because he always wanted to kiss me on the mouth, which is wonderful. But he always wanted to do that. So that was my last kiss to my son. And I don't want any other parent to experience this, because losing one person to fentanyl poisoning is too many.
Let me stop you there for a second. Um, you know, fentanyl doesn't necessarily only affect people who are addicted. And I'll just share this with
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
I'm praying constantly. My grandson just recently had surgery on his shoulder, and he was given medication to take to alleviate the pain.
Yes.
Fentanyl is a highly potent synthetic opioid primarily used in pain killing. It is 30 to 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine.
That's right.
And many people who are prescribed a painkiller after surgery can eventually migrate over to fentanyl. Is that true, Nurse Freeman?
Yeah, through a long process, hopefully, but really and truly, that drug was originally manufactured for help with pain associated with cancer. But yeah, there are people who are prescribed it for chronic pain that's unrelieved by, lower doses of morphine.
Can I interject one thing though? These are two different drugs. Illicit fentanyl is synthetic. It's created from three chemicals that come from other countries. I don't know if I can say them or not. I would like to, but
Like China, like Mexico,
China.
and like Canada?
Well, Mexico is more the cartel there. They're the ones that are trafficking. Canada gets the chemicals from China. They were coming from India. I'm not sure if they are anymore, but they were coming. The chemicals were coming from China. There's three chemicals that make this illicit fentanyl, which is totally different from pharmaceutical. I just
Okay.
want to point that out. But because it is a totally different drug. It is totally manufactured by man. It's synthetic. The illicit fentanyl is. And it is highly, it only takes 30 seconds for someone to die after ingesting illicit fentanyl. And before this came on the market, though, they were chewing the patches, the pharmaceutical patches, and people were dying from that. There were a few deaths from that. But this is taken over, illicit fentanyl has taken over 1 million people. 1 million. So there is a difference between the two drugs, is what I'm trying to get across to others.
Wow.
Yes,
And in your background, there is a picture of Joshua. Would you like to talk about that and talk about Joshua Hope?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, you want to see that one? So Joshua's Hope, I created that. Me and God created that because I couldn't do this without Him at all. My favorite scripture, the scripture that God gave me for Josh when he was born, is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope. And I know it's hard for some people to believe that there is hope after losing a child or a loved one to fentanyl poisoning, but there is hope. And I am here to tell you there is, because I could sit and lick my wounds and no one would be mad at me, but I'm not that kind of person. I don't want another mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, aunt, uncle, friend to experience this pain that is so gut-wrenching you can't even breathe sometimes. Sometimes I get up and I can't even function, but I'm telling you, I am determined to help get this out of our country. Whatever I have to do, I am determined. So I started Joshua's Hope as a support group for moms and family and dads and family and friends that have lost a loved one to this monster. And I will fight until I'm my last breath. I will fight to get this out of our country. And I'm so grateful to our president, Donald Trump, and his team for fighting this with us. I'm so grateful for that. And I will fight. I will do anything to stop this stuff.
Well, in terms of his team, he's got some support. I mean, Pam
Yeah.
Bundy was actually confirmed and sworn in on yesterday, and she's not playing. She's bringing the goods. I mean, Shelby County, watch out. Your money is about to dry up. If you don't get a hold of all of these illegal immigrants, the
Yes.
sanctuary city issue, you aren't going to get any money. So it's exciting, but can I just digress just a little bit?
Sure.
I met you and your husband back during this summer, and you guys had gone down to Mar-a-Lago and was having a great time. Tell us about that, because you were almost like treated like royalty
I don't know about that.
from the president of the United States.
Well, we were invited because I write a lot of letters, okay? And evidently one went across his desk or something. And we were invited to a dinner in Florida that was for him. And he had done 3 other dinners. And anyway, as we were standing around the stage when he came out, he had a little few notes, and he kind of slid them to the side and he said, "Does anybody have any questions? Let's just talk." And everybody's like, "Sure, sure." So there's a little guy standing in front of me, and I had my camera up in my hand with Joshua's picture on it, trying to get his attention. And the lady asked me next to me who that was. And I said, "That's my son, Josh. He died of fentanyl poisoning." Well, the young man in front of me heard me say that. He said, "You need to come up here in front." And so he pushed me to the front. Well, I didn't know behind my back, but he's going, pick her, just acting crazy, trying to get President Trump's attention. And so President Trump said, "Well, I guess I need to pick you." And so he said, "Who is that on your phone?" And I said, "That's my son, Josh Smith, who died of fentanyl poisoning." He said, "Well, you need to get up on this stage." And I said, "Yes, sir." And I am not starstruck. I am not shy, as you know. I hopped right up there, and in the 20 security people, I barreled through, went up the stairs, and got on the stage. And he just handed me the microphone and allowed me to speak about Josh and Joshua's hope and the fentanyl crisis. And it was amazing. Amazing opportunity. God orchestrated amazing opportunity.
An opportunity of a lifetime, because
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
gone to Mar-a-Lago too, but I didn't get that. I didn't have the royal red carpet rolled out for me.
That's what I had.
And then there is a picture of him hugging you. Now, I saw it last night on your Facebook page, but when I went to look at it this morning, I didn't see it. So
Oh, it's still there.
it is?
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe we can put it up, but he gave you a hug, and
Yeah,
that was
he
so
did.
sweet. He is
He
so
actually
good.
kissed me on the cheek, but I don't think that should be public, but now it is.
It is public. Can't take it back.
He did not hesitate one bit.
But he is looking out for mothers who are losing or have lost their children. Nani, is there anything you would like to share?
Now, I'm interested, were they able to prosecute the person he purchased the drugs from? And, were there any other victims from that? It just boggles the mind that even
Yes, ma'am. Well,
those problems.
one of my biggest fights is making sure that these criminals and these murderers are charged for each death. Unfortunately, in 2016, Josh, I believe, was the second person to die in 2016 in Tennessee. And they used his information for the young man that died before him, if I'm not mistaken, to prosecute them, to prosecute them, 2 gentlemen that had a house on Kirby Parkway. They used Joshua's phone and my son's best friend took the detectives to the house. Joshua, on his death certificate, it says unknown. His death is unknown. I'm about ready to fight that and change that. I think it's very important. And I'm also going to go before the judge and see if I can get their prison sentence changed to longer, and get that charge on them as well. But to answer your question, no, they were not charged in my son's death. Are you there?
This would be how much cocaine somebody would have to ingest to kill them. This is the approximate number of prescription pills.
Did you lose me?
This would be how much cocaine somebody would have to ingest to kill them. This is the approximate number of prescription pills one would have to ingest to kill them. This is the amount of heroin the average person would have to ingest to kill them. This much fentanyl would kill you and I if we split.
Noni, did you have anything you wanted to ask or say?
No, I just think it's wonderful that you've got the support group that there, and I just so do y'all do counseling or it's just a like a weekly meeting for people who have gone through the same kind of thing, or how does your organization work?
I am not a therapist or a counselor. I'm just a mom who's been through this. And I always tell my new moms, because they're like, you've been doing this for so long. And I always tell them that it doesn't matter if it's been 1 minute or 100 years, it's all the same. Grief is the same. There's no time frame. There's no, when will I get better? The pain of losing a child is something that a mother should never have to go through. The pain is excruciating. But what I do is I have a monthly meeting. I would like to start to have more meetings. It's been interesting, the responses that I've gotten. I've had some really good meetings, and I have an event once a year, usually in March, but I'm not having it until June. I will let you know more about that, Charlotte, when I get the date settled. There's a conflict with the March 2nd or March 1st, actually, is when I was doing it. But I have a big event for Joshua's Hope Day, and the health department comes out, doctors come out, they do HIV testing, free vaccines, free checkups. We have music, and we talk a lot about Joshua's Hope and fentanyl, the fentanyl crisis and prevention. We do Narcan kits and test strips, because I want anyone that's using fentanyl on purpose to test their drugs or buying drugs on the street. I want them to test their drugs so that they can live. And Narcan is a very important part of that. We've saved
Please
a lot.
explain Narcan to my audience that may not be familiar with it.
Okay, Narcan is a drug that can reverse the effects of illicit fentanyl or any opiate. We all have opiate receptors in our brain. And what Narcan does, it's a nasal, I should have brought it with me. I'm so sorry. It's this little small nasal spray, and sometimes you have to use 4 of them depending on the amount of fentanyl. But usually 1 is sufficient, and you have to spray it in their nose. And you have to have training on that because you have to get away really quickly. But it stops the effects of the drug immediately. It stops that receptor. It blocks it. And so that they are immediately sober, and they're really angry when they when they lose their effects of their drug. So it is very efficient. It's not perfect, but we've saved a lot of lives, and unfortunately, we have to have that on board.
Wow. Wow. This is really, really interesting. Thank you for all that you do. How can people get in contact with you if they want to find out more about what you do, about what Joshua Hope does? And this morning you had a mother that you had to console. Would you like to talk about that? You don't have to.
Oh, here's the Narcan right here.
Okay.
My husband just brought it to me.
Tell Chuck hi.
He's gone. He must have been watching. This is the Narcan right here, and you can get it at Walgreens. You can get it at the health department for free. They give out kits, so keep one in your car. You can't leave it in the heat or the extreme cold. Keep it in your car. Take it with you. Put it in your purse. Okay, so I apologize. What did you say again?
I was asking, how can people get in contact with you in terms of phone number, in terms of email address or website or what have you?
Joshua's Hope is on Facebook under Joshua's Hope. You can reach me at, if I don't mind putting my phone number out there, it's 901-305-2340. I am available 24/7. If I am in a meeting or at an event or something, I will call you right back. Leave a message because my phone will not accept a phone call that doesn't recognize the number. But please leave a message and I will get back with you. I love my moms. I love them, that I can support them, but they also support me. But the mother I was speaking to earlier is one of my new moms. And I don't mean this flippant at all. We're all in this together. But it's just very important for me to help moms have some hope that they will be okay and that we can fight this together. Because some people just don't know what to say to a grieving mom. And if you haven't experienced it, it's hard to understand. And the compassion is so wonderful, and we appreciate that. But unless you have actually felt that pain, it's hard to talk about.
My grandson did not leave as a result of a drug overdose. But I still get emotional when I think about how he left. And there's no time limit on grief. I'm trying, Wendi.
I'm so sorry. I just hate it when I hear something like that. I know my heart just goes out to you because loss is loss, no matter what. And grief is just unbelievable.
But this is, in a lot of instances, what gets us out of our comfort zone.
Yes.
To go out and try to help and fight and empathize with other people who are going through this same situation.
Yes, ma'am.
I thank God that He gave you that fight. And
I'm very tenacious.
Huh?
I'm very tenacious.
Yes. Noni, did you have anything else you want to say?
No, not at this time. And thank you. It's been very enlightening.
Thank you, Noni. Thank you for your support, Noni. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you for joining us, Noni. Wendi, I appreciate this. I will be talking to you soon. We're going to be blowing each other's phones up because we got a lot to do. God didn't bring us together for no reason whatsoever. And we care about our country. We care about our community, but I'll tell you what, problems have not been solved yet, but I see hope.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
faith. And I can wake up every morning and rejoice because what was considered insane is
Yeah.
beginning to be sanity again. And it's like there is a shaking going on, and God is cleaning this
Yeah.
nation up. And I just can't help but rejoice and be happy with what I'm seeing. So I wake up every morning so blessed, so
Hey,
prayerful.
this is God's country.
Yes. Yes. So I want to thank you for taking this time out of your schedule to talk with me. I look forward to receiving that invitation. What is it, in June?
Yes,
When you
ma'am.
Okay. I look forward to
I'm
receiving that
working on the
invitation.
date. I'll get that to you ASAP.
But I will be talking to you beforehand because we've got a lot to do.
Yes,
Chuck, you're not off the hook either.
I couldn't do this without my husband.
Oh, yeah, I can see it in both of your eyes when you're together. You're like two peas in a pod. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank
And
you.
are you from Memphis originally?
My whole life, don't I sound like cornbread?
No.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Noni, thank you for joining us today. I do appreciate you ladies. You guys are truly wonderful. And all of my guests who join us, hey, I'm really happy that you joined us. I'm going to make this show as short as possible so it won't take a long time to download and get uploaded to the various sites that we do show our show on. But please, if you know anybody who has a YouTube account or Rumble account, please share this show with them and ask them to subscribe, to press that subscribe button and subscribe. It will provide you with a notification of when we have our next show. And the shows are going to get better and better and better. And next week, we've got a farmer who realizes, like Robert Kennedy Jr. does, that what we put in our bodies can have an effect on how we function, the joy that we have in our lives, and the overall health of our country and our individuals that are there. So he's going to come on the show next week and teach you how to farm, even in the city, so you can have healthy food. So God bless you all. I love you all. Contact Wendi and talk with her about Joshua's Hope at 901-305-5340.
Yeah. 2340.
Woo!
Sorry.
2340.
Yes.
Okay, let me
Sorry about
correct that.
that.
901
305
305
2340. Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. If I said it wrong.
2340. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. All right. So you guys write that number down and contact Wendi and maybe get involved and help
Yes,
in
please.
any way that you possibly can.
Please.
Have a great weekend, guys. And remember, we've had some warm weather. It's been a teaser because next week it's going to get cold again. So pull those coats back out.
Thanks for the opportunity, Charlotte.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye
Love you
now.
too.